Good morning, students. Today we are going to start with a chapter that is the S block elements. First of all, you must know that all the elements in the periodic table are classifying into 4 blocks depending upon the entrance of last electron. That is S block if the last electron enters into outermost s orbital, P block if the last electron enters into outermost p orbital, D block if the last electrons enters into n-1d, that is penultimate d orbital, they are considered as D block elements. And similarly, if the last electron enters into n-2, that is anti-penultimate f orbital, they are considered as F block elements. Today we are going to discuss a very simplest block of the periodic table, that is the S block element. Now, as you all know that s orbital that is having only one orbital have maximum tendency to fill 2 electrons only. So, on the basis of that, there are only 2 groups, that is group 1 and group 2, that belongs to the S block of the periodic table. So let us move towards group 1 elements name. Now group 1 elements are lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium and francium. Now collectively all these group 1 elements, they are called as alkali metals. Now there is again one important question from this, a very simple one. Why group 1 elements are collectively known as alkali metal? And the answer is because they are hydroxides on reaction with water forming a strongly alkaline solution. Now let us move towards group 2 elements. So group 2 elements are beryllium, magnesium, calcium, strontium, barium and radium. Now again there is one important question, that why group 2 elements are collectively known as alkaline earth metal. And again the answer is alkaline is because their oxides and hydroxides are alkaline in nature. And why earth metals? Because their metal oxides are found in the earth crust. So the name comes out to be alkaline earth metals. Now in spite of that, there is a one important property shown by the first element of the group 1 and group 2. First element of group 1 and group 2. Now what this property is, it is called as a diagonal relationship. The first element of group 1, 2 are lithium and beryllium. Now the element present diagonally to it, that is for a lithium diagonally present element is magnesium. For beryllium diagonally present element is aluminium. So what is diagonal relationship? The resemblance in the property of element of group 1 and 2 first element with that of the element present to the next period and which are present diagonal to it, that is to be called as a diagonal relationship. Remember, the first member or first element of group 1, 2, that will show a different property as comparison to their group members, but it will show the similar properties to the element which are present diagonally to it. So it is called as a diagonal relationship. As I told you earlier also, lithium will show resemblance with the magnesium and beryllium will show resemblance with the aluminium. Now again there is one important question here. What is the cause behind the diagonal relationship? So first is, the reason is because the similar ionic sizes of the element, that is lithium and magnesium and beryllium and aluminium, they will show the similarities in the properties. Second reason is due to the same charge to radius ratio. So they have a same charge to radius ratio. So as a result of this, there is a resemblance in the property. So let us start with the group 1 elements in detail. So coming to the electronic configuration first of all. So as I told you earlier also, group 1 elements, they are called as alkali metals. So the general electronic configuration is there is only one electron in the outermost shell, that is ns1. So due to the presence of one electron, it will lose electron. As a result of this, monovalent cation will be formed. There is one again important question is here. Why alkali metals are highly reactive in nature? The answer is because they have only one loosely held electron in the valence s orbital. So therefore, they are highly reactive in nature. Now let us move towards electronic configuration. So group 1 elements, that is lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium and francium. In spite of that, you can also write down the element, that is hydrogen, because hydrogen also having a 1 electrons in the s orbital. So I am writing here hydrogen with electronic configuration 1s1. So there is only 1 electron in case of the hydrogen. So the name comes out to be hydrogen, that is equal to 1s1. Now there is one important, we can say that a rhyme is there in order to remember these elements, that is हलीना की रब से फरियाद. You have to just remember हलीना की रब से फरियाद. H stand for hydrogen, L stand for lithium, N stand for sodium, then potassium, rubidium, cesium and francium. Now by this particular phrase, you can remember the name of the group 1 elements. Now as you move down the group, there is only change in the number of the outermost shell. Like 1s1 in case of hydrogen, 2s1 in lithium, 3s1, 4s1, 5s1, 6s1 and 7s1 in case of the francium. Otherwise, there is only change in the inner electronic configuration, that is inner orbitals are fully filled. That is all about the electronic configuration. Now next we are proceeding towards atomic properties. Now if we talk about the atomic and the ionic radii of the alkali metals. So alkali metals, these are the largest as comparison to the all the members in the particular period. As you all know that as you proceed from left to right in a period, there is a decrease in the size, atomic size as well as ionic size, both goes to be decreases. So but as we move down the group, there is an increase in the size. Either we are talking about atomic size, either we are talking about the ionic size. Both goes to be increases down the group. Now why there is a decrease in atomic size as you move from left to right? That is because there is subsequent addition of the nuclear charge, but the entrance of the electron will take place in the same shell. So as a result of this, nuclear charge increases by the same distance, so the atomic size goes to be reduces from left to right. That is the reason alkali metals have the largest size in a particular period. Similarly, as you move from lithium to cesium, the atomic size that goes to be increases because of the increase in the number of shell. Number of shell goes to be increases, therefore atomic size goes to be increases. Similarly, there is a one important question, that is a comparison of the size of the cation with that of the parent atom. So always remember beta, cation is always smaller as comparison to the parent atom. Let us take one example to clarify this concept. We have a sodium. On the formation of cation, that is Na positive will be formed, there is a loss of 1 electron. Now what will happen when the cation is formed? The electron goes to be decreases, but the nuclear charge will remain the same. Like in case of sodium, here the electron is 11, proton is again going to be 11. So during the formation of cation, the nuclear charge will remain the same, but the electron goes to be decreases. So as a result of this, effective nuclear charge felt by the electron that goes to be increases. Therefore, there is a decrease in the size of the cation as comparison to the parent atom. So sodium plus ion is always smaller as comparison to the sodium atom. Now next important property, that is the ionization enthalpy, which is totally dependent upon the atomic size. So as you move from left to right, atomic size that goes to be decreases. Atomic size that goes to be decreases. Therefore, the ionization enthalpy that goes to be increases from left to right. So we can say that alkali metals have the lowest ionization enthalpy in a particular period. So because of the largest size, they have a lowest ionization enthalpy. Similarly, as you move from lithium towards the cesium, atomic size goes to be increases. As a result of this, atomic size increases, therefore there is a decrease in the ionization enthalpy. No doubt, as you proceed down the group, nuclear charges also increases, but the increase in the size overweighs the increase the nuclear charge. Therefore, the ionization enthalpy goes to be decreases down the group. Next factor is the hydration enthalpy. A very important factor, and there is one reasoning question from here. Why lithium salts are mostly hydrated? Like lithium chloride having a 2 water of crystallization is there. Now question is why lithium salt is mostly hydrated? The reason is because of the highest hydration enthalpy, and the reason is why hydration enthalpy is high, because of the smallest size of the cation. So as we discussed earlier about the size, as you move down the group, the cationic size that goes to be increases. Cationic size increases, it means that smaller is the size of the cation, more ease it can interact with the water molecule. So more ease it can interact with the water molecule. As a result of this, they have a high hydration enthalpy. So lithium being smaller size cation having a highest hydration enthalpy, and that is the reason lithium salts are mostly hydrated in nature. So that is all about the physical properties and the atomic properties of the alkali metals. Now let us proceed towards the next topic, that is the physical properties of the alkali metals. With all the alkali metals, they appears to be silvery white in color. They are soft and these are light metals. And as we discussed earlier also, they have the largest size as comparison to the all the members of the period. So due to the largest size, they have a low density. And again, down the group size more increases, so density again goes to be decreases down the group. And there is one exception here. Potassium is lighter as comparison to the sodium. Now, in case of alkali metals, they have a very low melting and a boiling point. So the reason is because they have only singly filled valence electron. So as a result of this, they can form a very weak metallic bonds. Next, a very important and interesting property of the alkali metals and their salts is they are imparting characteristic color in oxidizing flame. What does it mean? In this case, if you take any alkali metal salt and you heat it in the presence of oxidizing flame, what will happen? The outermost orbital having a single electron, and these electrons get excited by the flame energy and goes to the high state or a higher energy level. After that, it comes back to the ground state and there is an emission of radiation in the visible region. As a result of this, all the alkali metal salts, they give some characteristic color to an oxidizing flame. Let us take the example like in case of lithium, it is crimson red in color. Like in case of sodium, it is yellow in color. Like in case of potassium, it is violet in color. Like in case of rubidium, it is red violet in color. In case of cesium, it is blue in color. So there is a very important property. So this particular technique is used for the identification or for the detection of alkali metal salt. And this technique is known as flame photometry. इसे हम क्या बोलते हैं? It is called as a flame photometry technique. Now in spite of that, as you all know that being larger in size, they have a very low ionization enthalpy. They have a low ionization enthalpy. Now this property is used for making photoelectric cells electrodes. Now there is one important question here. Why cesium and potassium used as electrodes in a photoelectric cell? So that is because being larger in size, both having a lower ionization enthalpy, by the light only, the electrons can be ejected out and that will produce the electric current. So that is why both cesium and potassium, they are used in a photoelectric cell. So that is all about the physical properties of the alkali metals. So let us proceed towards the next topic, that is the chemical properties of the alkali metals. So all the alkali metals, again, they are highly reactive. I told you earlier the reason, the two important reasons you have to remember again and again. That is due to the large size and due to the low ionization enthalpy, they are highly reactive in nature. And again, their activity goes to be increases down the group. So let us talk about their activity towards a different reagent one by one. First of all, we are talking about their activity towards air. How they are going to be react with the air. Remember first property, all the alkali metals, they will tarnish. Tarnish means that is they loses their shining appearance. That is a silvery white in color. They will fade up in the presence of dry air. Why they fade up in the presence of dry air? Because of the formation of oxide layer on its surface. And if the moisture is there, it will form hydroxide on the surface. As a result of this, alkali metal fades up in the presence of dry air, and either it can form hydroxides in the presence of moist air. So it means if the only oxygen is present, the alkali metals react with oxygen to form the oxide. So let us talk about the various type of oxides that will be formed by the alkali metals. So alkali metal, they can form either monoxides, they can either form peroxides, either they can form a superoxides. So what are monoxides? So when the oxygen will show -2 oxidation state, these are called as a monoxide. It will oxygen show -1 oxidation state. If the oxygen show -1 oxidation state, these are called as a peroxide. If the oxygen will show -1/2, that is O2 -1 means that will show, oxygen will show -1/2 oxidation state. These are considered as superoxides. So it means as you're proceeding from mono to peroxide to superoxide, the anion size goes to be increases. So as a result of this, as you proceeding from lithium towards cesium, the cation size increases. So the stability of superoxide increases as the cation size goes to be increases. So that is the reason lithium can form only monoxide, because of the smaller size of the lithium cation. Sodium can form peroxide as well as some amount of monoxide can be formed, while the other metals being larger size, they can form a superoxide as well as other oxides can also be formed. I told you the reason also, that superoxides, they are stable only in the presence of the larger size cation, just like potassium, rubidium and cesium. Lithium here shows the one exceptional behavior also, that lithium react with air, not only forming oxide, it can also form a nitride. All of you know that in a air, nitrogen is also present in a very large amount. So in spite of oxide, lithium, that will show the exceptional behavior as comparison to the group members, it can form nitride as well. Now these are the reactions how the oxides are formed. Oxides having general formula M2O, peroxides having general formula M2O2, and superoxides having general formula MO2. These are called as a superoxides. Now, being reactive in nature towards air as well as water, all the alkali metal almost they are normally kept under a kerosene oil. So that is all about the reactivity towards air. Let us proceed towards reactivity towards water. Now again, all the alkali metals, again they are highly reactive towards water also. As a result of this, metal hydroxides will be formed by reaction with water and the hydrogen gas will be liberated out. Similarly, going to react with hydrogen, the temperature is taking place. In case of lithium, a highly elevated temperature is required. But for the other alkali metals, near about 673 Kelvin temperature is required and the various metal hydrides will be formed. And remember, these metal hydrides are ionic in nature, therefore they have a high melting point. Similarly, that is reactivity towards halogen. Alkali metals, they are highly electropositive in nature, and the halogens, they are electronegative in nature. As a result of this, both will form halides, which are to be called as ionic halides, having general formula Mx. Now there is one again exceptional question shown by the lithium. Lithium halides, especially like in case of lithium iodide, almost all the lithium halides, they are covalent in nature. But the lithium iodide is the most covalent one. The reason is lithium being smaller size cation and iodide is the larger size anion.